Greetings, BNI, Middle Tennessee, Kentucky, and Southern Indiana. This is Executive Director Clay Morgan, and I'm recording this video today following up from a great round of All-Star events. We had a fantastic time recognizing individual chapter All-Stars, those top contributors on your team, as well as our March Madness performance. We had a fantastic record year this year in our 4th annual March Madness contest. And as a part of these meetings, we also shared upcoming events and reminders over the next few months. So this video today is just following up with a reminder for those of you who were there and those of you who weren't, so that you have all of the latest info. I'm going to shift my screen over now to a little slideshow so I can review the details with you. And the image you see up here on your screen, those of you who were with us at the All-Star events, this will look very familiar. And for those of you who weren't, I want to make sure and share our theme with you that we talked about at the All-Star events for the remainder of 2019. And that is, together we can. Ladies and gentlemen, BNI is the ultimate team sport for sales professionals and business owners. In BNI, working together, you as a member of your chapter, as a leadership team member of your chapter, working with our director team, working with our regional office, together we can accomplish amazing things that any one of us on our own never could. And so that really was the theme driving our All-Star events, and it will drive the rest of our year in terms of our focus for all of our initiatives that we are doing. Now, to that end, some of the things we covered at our All-Star events were about how we can do things more efficiently than before in leveraging new technology. So I want to share with you one of those items which we covered at our All-Star events, and another item which is a new release coming up, which we did not have official confirmation of at the time of our All-Star event. So this will be new for everybody. And this is a new release coming in May of 2019 for the BNI Connect mobile app. And it's going to make communications simpler and easier with your chapter members than they've ever been. I'm sure some of you have been in this boat before, where you've got a new member on your team and you want to include them with the whole chapter email, or maybe you want to reach out to them individually, but you don't have their email address yet saved in your contacts. Maybe you want to reach out to a little group of your chapter members and send a specific message, maybe with folks that are serving on a committee with you, perhaps folks who are on your power team. But being able to pool those contacts together and weave in new members, sometimes it's a whole other process. No more. Stop going crazy looking for the right members of your team's contact information. Beginning in May of 2019, you can now get your current chapter's membership roster and email one or all or any amount in between of your chapter members to follow up with right there inside the BNI Connect mobile app. This will be really helpful. Again, talk about new members on your team. I know all of us have the best of intentions of starting to build those relationships right off the bat. And sometimes subconsciously, just, out of sight, out of mind, if we don't see them until our next weekly meeting, we don't have that prompt to be able to set up our one-to-ones. Now, right there, looking at your chapter's roster, new members, you can easily send them an email, set up that new one-to-one. For example, you can also reach out to a handful of members. Great way to communicate with your power team, whether that's getting ready for your upcoming meeting and sending reminders about who's giving the featured presentation, meeting times and details, or following up afterwards with notes. You can select those right individuals directly inside the app by looking at your roster. Or you can select all of your chapter members. For example, if you're a communications coordinator or a visitor host and you're sending notes, a list of visitors that were at your recent weekly meeting, and following up with the whole team. Maybe you've got an upcoming chapter social event, and as events coordinator, you want to reach out to the whole chapter. Again, your current roster, including those newest members, is now super easy and convenient to access and to get that messaging out. So very excited for this new release. I don't have the exact date, but it will be during the month of May 2019. And sometime later this year, when we have the official date, we will let you know in advance, because this is a big one. And we shared this at our All-Star events. And this particularly is helpful. All members need to know, because it will change the way that we're sharing attendance letters, moving from paper to electronic via email. But vice presidents and membership committee members, this is a game changer in terms of helping you more effectively and efficiently manage your committee meetings in your time, so that now automatically, when the attendance is marked following your weekly meeting, the appropriate attendance letters will be sent to members. So you'll still be able to keep track of that and have those proactive, supportive conversations as a membership committee. Check in on members, make sure they're all right. But the process of actually mailing that hard copy letter will now be totally taken care of. Again, automatically will be sent out by email. So that's a big win. And now we can shift more time into the proactive side of helping our members and our chapter perform at the highest level and get the most out of our BNI experience. So again, that's coming later in 2019. We will let you know as soon as we have that date. Now, effective June the 1st, we do have new membership pricing. It will be annual membership of $640, effective on June the 1st. So as that's coming up, the application fee for new members is the same. The late fee is the same, but this is the new rate for the annual membership. And as always, when there is a membership price adjustment, we encourage and invite all members, regardless how much time they have on their membership clock, to go ahead and apply early for renewal and take advantage of the now current rates. So vice presidents and membership committees, certainly you will get a few more applications coming in. Do your normal due diligence. As long as the application and payment are submitted by June the 1st, they are eligible for the now current rates. So again, that's June the 1st. And we talked about also during our All-Star events, one of the really important processes we go through each and every year of getting the right people in the right seats on the bus to lead your team. We do have coming up one of our first benchmarks on the timeline for success, and I have the whole timeline up here on the screen so you can see those steps, but I want to make sure everybody, chapter vice presidents, secretary treasurers, as well as presidents, that you guys are communicating together to come up with that list of your top 2 nominees for each of the big 3 roles, and share that with your managing director. You're going to do this prior to reaching out to those short list of candidates. Again, as the nominating committee, the 3 of you, along with the managing director, you guys collectively, the 4 of you, make up that nominating committee. You're going to go over that short list of names, be able to make any additions, anything like that, and reach out to folks once you've conferred on the list and congratulate everyone who has been nominated to lead your chapter in the coming year. This really is a great honor, and regardless of whether or not folks are able to serve in the next year because of what's going on in their personal life or in their business, we do want to recognize them for that and lead in by letting them know why you think they are such a great leader, and leading by example already within your chapter. Once you let them know, and invite them to serve in leadership, the goal is not to sell them on this, not to get a commitment right then. It's simply to ask if they're interested in learning more. And we're going to invite them to role preview webinars, which we have one for each of the big 3 roles. They are scheduled for presidents on May the 28th, the following day, May 29th, for vice presidents, the following day on May the 30th for secretary treasurers. Each of these webinars is already up on our event calendar, and they are all scheduled at 4 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Central Time. And these are designed very simply, 45 minutes in setup, about 25, 30 minutes worth of reviewing the expectations, what's involved in the role, and the rest of the time, as much of it as folks need, is just for open Q&A to make sure everybody understands what's involved in serving in that role. Also on the webinar, we will give the opportunity for folks to participate in a live poll at the end of that session and give us where they are now. Yes, they're excited and ready to serve. No, this is not a good time for them to serve, or maybe, but they have a couple follow-up questions that they want a little bit more information on, or they need a couple of days to talk to their spouse or business partner to think about it. Any of those three responses is fine, but our goal for folks that were on the webinar, as well as those candidates who could not make that time, we do record these sessions. We still encourage those folks to register. They will automatically get a copy of the recording 24 hours later, and they can listen to the details of the role at their convenience in the next couple of days. And by June the 7th, so 1 week after the webinars, is our timeline for an official answer. You know, as soon as they know, but the firm deadline is by June the 7th, and then you can see from there, that gives us the rest of the time to have your chapter take a vote on the entire slate, not by individual role, but president, vice president, and secretary treasurer together. And once approved by a simple majority secret ballot vote within your chapter, now we can work through the rest of the steps on these process, selecting support teams and getting folks registered for the live trainings coming up in September. So again, next big steps by May the 3rd, share that list of top 2 candidates for the big 3 roles with your managing director. Once you guys have confirmed on that, reach out to those candidates, congratulate them, let them know why you think they'd be such a great leader, and ask, would you be interested in learning more? And again, here are our dates for each of those preview webinars. So folks, as we get ready to finish up spring and go into the summer months, there's a lot of great stuff going on within BNI. We appreciate your membership, we appreciate your leadership, and we are excited as we go forward in 2019 to create amazing results. Together, we can.